It's a four-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats like Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Call or text us at 402-464-5685 with questions, or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Registration goes through May 30th.
Attention! Acres is cutting interest rates and offering great deals below market value on the largest selection of used inventory in the nation. For a limited time, Acres is offering interest rates as low as 2.9% on our late model John Deere ag equipment. Acres low interest rates, along with our below market prices on select John Deere used planters, tractors, sprayers, and combines, makes it a great time to upgrade your equipment for the 2025 season. Visit acres.com for details. That's AKRS.com. Offer ends May 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Jumpstart your summer to the max. Walk into any Max Tan in Lincoln and get a $5 standing tan session or a $5 red light wellness booth session. Your summer tan starts today with $5 sessions at Max Tan with 3 Lincoln locations.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through May 27th is $1 off hamburger and hot dog buns, $1 off Plum Creek chicken wings, 15% off barbecue sauces, and 15% off burgers, hot dogs, and brats. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Schwieso Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schwieso Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schwieso.com. That's schwissow.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Vershawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome to the 2025 NSAA State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. State baseball broadcasts are powered by Game Day Men's Health, Max Tan, Doane University, Raising Canes, and the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Now, calling all the action, here's Nick Sainert.
Welcome into day 4 of the 2025 baseball tournament here, day 2 at Warner Park, as we have 2 Class B games on deck and then 2 Class A games to round out your Tuesday. Nick Sainert coming at you from a chilly, windy Warner Park up here in Papillion, Nebraska, here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We got a good one to start things off today. It's going to be the Waverly Vikings going up against the Gretna East Griffins. These are 2 teams very familiar with each other. They've played 5 games against each other in the last about month or so of real time, and it's been pretty evenly matched in the last 4 or 5 matchups as well. These 2 teams faced off in the first round of the state baseball tournament as well on Saturday. Gretna East was victorious, Waverly was victorious 3-2 on Saturday, but today they meet in an elimination game after Gretna East was able to win against Hastings yesterday by a score of 12-2. Waverly was no hit by the Omaha Catholic Skyhawks on Monday, and so we'll see how they bounce back here at Warner Park. Once again, going to be a very chilly, very windy day for baseball. There's possibilities of rain similar to yesterday. We got through all 4 games, though, yesterday with no harm, no foul. We were ready to go, and we actually wrapped up here at Warner by about 7:30 p.m. However, that was not the case over at Papillion La Vista South High School, where Class B action was taking place. Papillion La Vista South High School saw a game between Omaha Gross Catholic and the Bennington Badgers go 12 innings. It was a 4-hour and 14-minute game. That then delayed the start of the Seward Blue Jays broadcast, and that game did not get over until around 11:30 p.m. late last night at Papillion La Vista South High School. Well, now Seward and Bennington, those 2 schools, will play in our next elimination game just around 1 p.m. this afternoon. So that is one of the storylines here in the Class B landscape. But back here with our first game of the day, it's the Waverly Vikings going up against the Gretna East Griffins. We'll start first with the team that's seated a little higher, the Waverly Vikings. They come in here with a record of 21-10 on the season. I mentioned that they beat Gretna East in the first round of the state tournament. However, 3 weeks ago, they played Gretna East, lost 6-2, and then in the district final, the Gretna East Griffins were able to beat Waverly 5-0. And so Waverly gets the best of them in their first round of the state baseball tournament on Saturday. We'll see what happens here in an elimination game. For Gretna East, they dominated the Hastings Tigers yesterday. They scored 12 runs. They accumulated 14 hits, and they only had 6 strikeouts at the plate in 29 at-bats. A really nice day from the top of their lineup. Most notably, Carson Herman, the man who's hitting 3rd in the lineup, goes 4 for 4 with 3 runs driven in. He also was walked in one of his at-bats. Starting on the mound for the Waverly Vikings, it's going to be number 9, Owen Glassburner. Glassburner on the year has a 5-0 record, a 1.09 earned run average, throws from the right side against this Gretna East lineup. For the Gretna East Griffins, they are 18-10 on the campaign. Like I mentioned in the district final game, they beat the Waverly Vikings by a score of 5-0. They actually ended the season winners of their last 7 matchups in the regular season. Saturday was their first loss in their previous 7 matchups. And so Gretna East playing their best baseball at the right time for head coach Daryl Everhart. They're going to be led offensively by Nolan Green, who's going to be leading things off for the Griffins. He hits .357 from the plate on the left side. Nolan Green, he actually got the start on the mound on Saturday, but he has 30 hits and over 80 at-bats on the season. We're ready to play some baseball here. After Waverly gets no hit by Omaha Skutt yesterday in a 4-0 loss, Gretna East defeated the Hastings Tigers 12-2. And so that is how we have a rematch of Saturday's game. The opening round matchup now, it's an elimination game between the Waverly Vikings, who will be in their maroon uniforms, white hats, white bottoms, while Gretna East decked out in their black and gold pinstripes with the gold letters and numbers on the front and back. Nolan Green steps into the left-handed batter's box, and the first pitch of the game from Glassburner is up out of the zone, 1-0. So it's our first of 4 games today here on 93.7 The Ticket. We will have 2 Class B matchups and then 2 Class A games later on this afternoon and evening. The one that everybody's kind of looking forward to is Millard South, Millard West. That's going to be at around 4 p.m. as the 2-0 offering swung on, flied high. It's going to stay in the infield, though, as the shortstop ranges back. Now will be drawn out to shallow center field, and making the catch down by his thigh is the shortstop, Carson Malcolm, for the Waverly Vikings. It's an F6 on the scorebook, and that's out number 1 for the Waverly Vikings. So now stepping into the box, it'll be the second baseman for Gretna East, number 5, Tyler Cox. Cox on the year, .239 hitter. He takes ball 1 up by his helmet, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Yesterday, Cox went 1 for 2 with 2 runs driven in. He also walked and struck out once against the Hastings Tigers. The righty-righty matchup on 1-0. Goes to the backstop for the second consecutive pitch, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Despite the conditions here at Warner Park, not a bad crowd on hand. Gretna East student section out in full force. You can hear them. The 2-0 pitch here from Glassburner. Low and away, ball 3. We saw in that Lincoln East Millard South game yesterday just how detrimental free passes and free bases can be for a team. Millard South walked 5 consecutive Spartans that contributed and was the only reason they got 2 runs in that bottom of the first inning. Here on the 3-1 offering, swung on and missed. It's 3-2. That game ended up being a 3-2 final. And if you're Millard South today, you're looking back going, man, if we wouldn't have given up so many free passes from the right arm of Tyler Albert, you might feel like that game would have gone differently, as we have a foul ball on the payoff pitch, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes once again. So Owen Glassburner, the senior right-handed pitcher, 5-0 record, a 1.09 earned run average. Real stingy on the mound. The 3-2 pitch from Glassburner. This one hit well. It's a line drive out to center field. Tomes out there in center field is going to have to let that one drop, and that's a 1-out base knock for the Gretna East Griffins here in the top of the first inning. Tyler Cox, after going 1 for 2 yesterday in the win, he goes 1 for 1 in his first at-bat. And now stepping up to the plate, the man of the day yesterday. 4 for 4 from the plate, 3 runs driven in. Carson Herman, he's getting the start in right field today. Herman on the year is hitting .352 as the quick pick over to first base. Back in time safely is Tyler Cox. No balls, no strikes. The first pitch of the at-bat from the righty Glassburner. On its way, it's inside corner. Good pitch there by Owen Glassburner, as it's now no balls, 1 strike. Importance of establishing not only the outer part of the zone, but also the inner part of the plate. It's a place in high school baseball not a lot of guys can get that barrel around on, as this one will stay up and inside. Ball 1 on the 1-0-1 fastball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out here in the top of the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out from the stretch. Here's Glassburner's pitch. Swung on, fouled back to the netting. We'll do it at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Similar to yesterday, Austin Norman will join me for the remaining 3 games of the day as he makes his way up to Warner Park. The 1 ball, 2 strike delivery from Glassburner. Runner goes. This one lunged for and fouled off to the right side. Staying alive is Herman, and will redo 1 ball, 2 strikes. It was a good jump by the runner at first base, Tyler Cox. And sometimes you'll, as a hitter, take a pitch no matter what if you notice that your guy on first base gets a good jump. However, with 2 strikes on him, wanted to stay alive, keep the at-bat alive, and Herman just fouled that one off to the right side of the bleachers. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the first inning. Still scoreless after the 1-out base knock. The pitch swung on, hit well into the left center gap. The wind's going to keep pushing this one back towards dead center field, and Hunter Tomes is there to patrol center field and make the catch for out number 2. The smell of popcorn starting to fill the air here at Warner Park, despite it only being 10 minutes after 10. Tyler Cox will lead off of first base. As stepping into the box, the cleanup hitter, the center fielder, Tanner Erdkamp. Quick pick over to first base. It drills the runner on the line, and back safely is Tyler Cox. Our temperature at first pitch was 52 degrees. It's only a high of 57 today in Omaha. Wind blowing towards that right field corner at about 12 miles an hour. As the first pitch, the at-bat to Erdkamp is outside, ball 1-0. There's a marginal risk for rain here in Papillion for a good chunk of the afternoon after about the 12 o'clock hour. 1 ball, no strike. Foul ball, right side, it's even. 1 ball, 1 strike. And so we'll see if yesterday we were pretty fortunate. No weather delays, that was. And so we'll see going forward here today if we're able to stay that lucky. State championship games are Friday. The game times are 12, 3:30, and 7 p.m., starting with Class C. We'll have all 3 of those games on 93.7 The Ticket here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Swung on, fouled off right side again, and it's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's the second time that Cox has tried to swipe second base, but it's been nullified because of a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the first. Gretna East up to bat against the Waverly Vikings. Owen Glassburner on the mound for the Vikes as he comes set at the chest. Fires home on the 1-2, just a tad outside. The cleanup hitter for Gretna East, Tanner Erdkamp, thought about going around. He was able to hold that barrel back from entering the zone, and it's going to be 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the first. Runner on first for Gretna East is Tyler Cox. Tanner Erdkamp in the right-handed batter's box as the 2-2 offering. Breaking ball outside corner, and nice job by Owen Glassburner as he got Tanner Erdkamp down on strikes. It's a backwards K. It's Glassburner's first of the day, and that will send the Waverly Vikings up to bat for the first time this morning. It's Tomes, Malcolm, and Sampson when we come back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Give to Lincoln Day is Thursday, May 29th, and 93.7 The Ticket will be at Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to help generate funds. You can give ahead at givetolincoln.com and make sure you choose Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach, located just north of 27th and Holdridge. Nick Sainert back with you from Warner Park as nothing comes of the 1-out base knock by the Gretna East Griffins in the top half of the first inning. And so now we turn our attention to the bottom half, where it's going to be the Waverly Vikings up to bat. And leading things off, it'll be Hunter Tomes, the center fielder. Tomes, the holder of the Class B state record for career stolen bases, has over 80 in his career. Watch him try to surprise Gretna East defense, especially their corner infielders, with a bunt down one of the lines. On the mound for Gretna East, it's going to be number 23, Austin Copeland. The senior is 3-2 on the year with a 1.97 earned run average. And Hunter Tomes steps into the box here from the left side. Tomes was 0 for 3 yesterday. Everybody for Waverly was 0 for. As Tomes swings and fouls this one off, it's no balls, 1 strike on the first pitch of the bottom of the first. Everybody for Waverly 0 for yesterday. Only 5 guys got 3 at-bats. Not a single walk, not a single free pass, no errors for either side, and they got no hit. No balls, 1 strike, the pitch on the way. Swung on, softly tapped to the pitcher. Plenty of time with it as Copeland underhands it over to first base in time for out number 1. It's 1-3 on the putout. And that brings up the shortstop, number 19, Carson Malcolm. Malcolm obviously went 0 for 3 yesterday. Malcolm on the year, though, is hitting .356. Has 32 hits on the campaign, 18 runs driven in. Hits from the right side with that sliding mitt hanging out of his back pocket. Holds the bat up by his ears, gives it a waggle, and the pitch is coming his way as it's on out just inside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes as this 1-0 fastball taken right side down for a hit in right center field. And so Carson Malcolm, similar as Gretna East did in their half of the first inning, Carson Malcolm is able to get on base with a 1-out single. And that'll bring up the third hitter in this Waverly lineup, number 5, the first baseman, Bruin Sampson. Sampson on the year hitting .391 from the plate, has 36 hits and 92 at-bats. He was the guy who got the start on the mound yesterday for the Waverly Vikings. Did not have a great outing on the mound against Scott Catholic. But here's the first pitch as this one's ripped into left center field. That's down for another hit. Rounding second and holding there is Malcolm. And a nice turnaround first base for Bruin Sampson on a nice line drive over the shortstop's head into left center field. And now Waverly has 2 runners on base with just 1 out in the bottom of the first. So now we're going to see the designated hitter today for the Waverly Vikings, number 6, Brennan Miller. Miller got the start against Gretna East on Saturday, had a nice outing on the mound. Offense didn't help him out a whole lot, but yet Waverly still was able to win that game. Brennan Miller, the designated hitter today, hits .305 on the campaign. The first baseman playing at the cut as the first pitch of the at-bat to Miller is low and away, ball 1. One ball, no strikes here to Brennan Miller. Carson Malcolm occupies second base. Bruin Sampson's at first. The 1-0 offering from Copeland. Swung on and missed on a fastball low and in. It's going to be 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. As Austin Copeland on the mound for Gretna East, taking his time to come set. Now he does at the belt. Looks back to second. This one fouled off the leg of Brennan Miller, still in the box, and so it's a foul ball as Brennan Miller will hobble off to the left side back towards the Waverly Vikings dugout, trying to shake this one off. Head coach Jerry Dittenber will go and talk to his designated hitter today just to make sure he's okay. And so we have a pause in the action. Back on Saturday when Brennan Miller threw for the Waverly Vikings, he threw 7 complete innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, walked just 2 guys, and had 7 strikeouts. So Brennan Miller looks to be okay. At the plate on Saturday, Brennan Miller was 1 for 2 with a hit and a walk. He also struck out once. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the home half of the first inning, runner in scoring position at second is Carson Malcolm for Waverly. Bruin Sampson's over there at first base after as well. The 1-2 pitch hit left side, fielded by the third baseman. They miss him on the tag. He throws it across the diamond in time to get Brennan Miller. They're going to say that the third baseman for Gretna East, though, Tayson Brown, missed the tag on the runner, Carson Malcolm. He still was able to turn in time and fired over to first base. Waverly's coach over at first was not a fan of the call at first base because they feel like the first baseman for Gretna East, Colton Nicholson, pulled his foot. The first base coach is trying to show the umpire, the home plate umpire, pointing to a spot and saying, this is where his foot was. And now Jerry Dittenberg's having the conversation with the first base umpire about the call at first. The Gretna East head coach, Daryl Everhart, is having a conversation with the third base umpire because they're saying that Carson Malcolm got out of the baseline. They're trying to show footprints on the freshly well-groomed dirt here at Warner Park. There are multiple conversations going on here. So now, after Coach Dittenber for Waverly talks to the first base umpire is going to talk to the home plate man about clarification on whether or not the guy at first pulled his foot. And now it looks like Daryl Everhart is going to walk away displeased for that conversation with the third base umpire. So the situation now is an out at first base for out number 2. It'll be 5-3 on the put out for out number 2. Moving up to third base on the fielder's choice is Carson Malcolm. And moving up to second on that fielder's choice is Bruin Sampson. So runners now at second and third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. That brings up the catcher, Drew Cook. Right-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher, Copeland. This one swung on, fouled off, backside, and it's going to be 0-1. So a lot was happening there as Gretna East head coach Daryl Everhart thought his third baseman, Kason Brown, tagged Carson Malcolm, the Waverly runner, on the chest as he passed by. Jerry Dittenber, the Waverly head coach, thought that the first baseman for Gretna East pulled their foot. And so there were multiple conversations from each head coach going on with each umpire. The 0-1 pitch from Copeland. Cook takes ball 1 up out of the zone, 1-1. On Saturday against Gretna East, Drew went 0 for 2 at the plate. He's got runners in scoring position. This one fouled off right side off the end of the bat, and we'll do it at 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. A little bit of traffic on the base paths for both sides, but especially for Waverly here in the home half of the first. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the first. Runner on third is Carson Malcolm. Runner on second for Waverly is Bruin Sampson. Copeland, the Gretna East pitcher, comes set. He lifts the leg and fires on 1-2 and delivers a 1-2 fastball outside, ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Cook steps into the box, and he'll take the 2-2. This one skied high into shallow center field. The wind is going to push it even shallower, but the center fielder, Erdkamp, is there to collect the catch, and that will do it for our first inning of play. It's all scoreless despite the traffic in scoring position. We'll go to the top of the second inning, due up in the top half of the second for Gretna East. It's Easton Leahy, Chase Neneman, and Kason Brown. Hitters 5, 6, and 7 in the Griffins order. Right after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. Nick Sainer with you here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Appreciate you guys tuning in wherever you may be, whether it's on the FM dial, the mobile app, on our website, or on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Cable channel 961. Just to kind of give you an idea of the schedule for the rest of the week, because it gets a little complicated after today. So today we'll have 4 elimination games. The winner of each game today will have to go and play a team that they will have to beat twice. And so tomorrow there's a possibility of just 2 games if the undefeated teams win their initial games on Wednesday. However, if both teams beat the undefeated team once, then we'll have a total of 4 games on the station tomorrow. Thursday will be off. We will have regularly scheduled programming on Thursday. And so normal shows, normal times, as that is the designated off day. It's also a day that I'm sure indirectly the NSAA is thinking if we get rained out up here, then they can push some things over to Thursday. But right now it's a designated off day. And then Friday, the 3 state championship games. The first pitch of the top of the second inning is outside for a ball, 1-0 to Easton Leahy, the 5-hole hitter in the Gretna East lineup. Back out there for his second inning of work is the Waverly pitcher, Owen Glassburner, as Glassburner delivers the 1-0 up and in for a ball, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch from Glassburner. This one ripped out through the left side and down for a hit. Nice job on the 2-0 approach by Easton Leahy as he smoked that ball, the 2-0 fastball from Glassburner, over the shortstop and third baseman's head and into left field for a leadoff single. So now Easton Leahy, who is the catcher, will be courtesy ran for. And stepping up to the plate, it's Chase Neneman. Neneman gets the start in left field this morning. Neneman on the year is hitting .325 in just a little over 40 at-bats on the campaign. 2 hits for each side here, and now in the top of the second. Quick pick over to first base, back in plenty of time as the runner over there, number 2, Colton Kuhl. Kuhl is doing the courtesy running. Glassburner comes set at the chest. Coming out of the stretch, facing the batter Neneman, who drops down a bunt. The catcher calls for it. Cook fires over to first in plenty of time, over to Bruin Sampson, and he's able to retire, Chase Neneman. So the sacrifice works to perfection. It's 2-3 on the putout for out number 1. But moving up to second base in scoring position is Colton Kuhl on that sacrifice. We saw games yesterday that were decided by a slim margin. A couple of 1-0 finishes, a 3-0 finish, a 3-2 finish, as the first pitch of the at-bat to Kaysen Brown, the third baseman, is in there for a called strike, 0-1. So when you have games decided by just a few runs or less, it maximizes and magnifies every moment, every pitch, every swing. As this swing is going to hit this one into foul territory. The catcher stumbles in the dirt, and it looked like he may have slipped and fell a little bit. Drew Cook was working towards that Gretna East dugout near the on-deck circle mat over there for the first base side, and was unable to grab that foul ball fly out. So it's now no balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Runner at second base is Colton Kuhl. He's in there doing the courtesy running for the Gretna East catcher, Easton Leahy. 1 pitch away in this at-bat for Glassburner. Glassburner delivers the 0-2. It's low and away, missed badly, and it's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good stop behind the dish by Drew Cook for the Waverly Vikings, as he was able to backhand that in the left-handed batter's box. The right-handed hitter, Kaysen Brown, steps in, ready to entertain the 1-2 pitch from Glassburner. Glassburner comes set, looking back at second base at the runner. Throws a fastball way up and in, and it's now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Gretna East up to bat with the runner in scoring position over at second base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Low and away again. Nice stop once again by Drew Cook, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes as Kaysen Brown has worked it full. Brown, the 7-hitter in the Gretna East lineup. Kobe Modrell, the designated hitter, is standing in the on-deck circle. We did not see him on Saturday. The 3-2 payoff pitch on the way, and it's up and in for a ball 4, and Kaysen Brown, after going down initially 0-2, works a walk. And so now with Kobe Modrell up to the plate, the designated hitter, Modrell on the year hitting .250, he will have runners at first and second base with 1 out here in the top of the second. Coming set is Glassburner. He checks the runner at second base twice. The runner at first is not being held on, and now he'll fire home the pitch. This one swung on, hit well, but foul down the left field line. It's going to get out of play, but the left fielder for the Waverly Vikings, Zach McElhose, will give it a look, and it goes into the seats. So no balls, 1 strike here on Kobe Modrell. Here's the pitch to Modrell. Just a tad outside, ball 1. Frustration from the Waverly supporters below me. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swung on. It's a nubber down the right side. It's going to be fielded cleanly by the second baseman. He underhands it to the first baseman, Bruin Sampson. Nice job as that baseball had a little spin on it as it came off the end of the bat. It came off the cap of the bright neon bat that Modrell was using. It was fielded cleanly by Gunderson, and he was able to field it and fire it over to first with the underhand toss in time for out number 2. But on the play, both runners do move up. And so Colton Nicholson, the 9-hole hitter in the Gretna East lineup, will come up to the plate with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Here's the first pitch from Glassburner, upstairs, ball 1. The runner at second is Kaysen Brown. The runner at third, Colton Kuhl. Colton Kuhl, the courtesy runner for the Gretna East Griffins catcher, Easton Leahy, who got on with a leadoff single. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. The 1-0 offering is up and away for a ball, 2-0. Nicholson against Waverly on Saturday was DH'd for. Did not record an at-bat. But here he is. He's drawn a 3-0 count. And with Nolan Green, one of the more dangerous hitters in the Gretna East lineup on deck, you do not want to lose Colton Nicholson. Here's the pitch from Glassburner. On the way, it's a strike in there, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 outs in the top of the second inning. Out of the windup, it's Glassburner. He fires home on the 3-1. Outside corner, clipped it, 3-2. Nice job by Glassburner, working it full. And now the payoff pitch, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Still scoreless between Gretna East and Waverly. The pitch on the way, and it's upstairs, ball 4. So the bases are now loaded for the leadoff hitter. The number 1 hitter in the lineup, Gretna East has Nolan Green. And we have a conference on the mound. Waverly doesn't have anybody warming up, so it looks like, and rightfully so, Owen Glassburner is going to have a decently long leash, but at least for the time being, he's encountered some trouble. Bases are going to be loaded with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Gretna East has the bases juiced. Colton Nicholson will occupy first base. Kaysen Brown stands at second. And Colton Kuhl will be at third. While we have a second, jumpstart your summer to the max. Walk into any Max Tan in Lincoln and get a $5 standing tan session or a $5 red light wellness booth session. Your summer tan can start today with $5 sessions at Max Tan in their 3 Lincoln locations. So Waverly has ended the conference call on the mound, and now we're ready to go. Nolan Green steps in. He flew out to the shortstop in shallow center field his first time up. Bases are loaded for Nolan Green. The first pitch is up high, ball 1. One ball, no strikes as Glassburner works out of the windup for Waverly. The pitch swung on, fouled back over our heads, and it'll be 1 ball, 1 strike. From both sides, the approach at the plate has been good. I wondered that with Waverly specifically, after they get no hit yesterday to Omaha Skutt Catholic, I wondered what the approach at the plate would be as the 1-1 pitch up and away for a ball, 2-1. Nowhere to put Nolan Green. But as I was saying, the approach at the plate, the willingness and urgency to attack a 1-0 fastball, 2-0 fastball, something like that has been prevalent and good to see for both sides. The 2-1 pitch swung on, hit left side, but foul. And it's now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nolan Green seems to be a tad behind that Glassburner fastball. So we'll see if Glassburner tries to bring something inside on Nolan Green. Catcher lines up there. It's in the dirt, and it's a great stop behind the dish. They tried to go fastball in by Glassburner. Drew Cook was set up on the inner part of the plate. They're lucky that didn't hit the ground and hit Nolan Green. But now it's the payoff pitch. Nowhere to put him. 3-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swung on, skied high. Pop up. Waverly should get out of it. Bruin Sampson has it. Hauls it in. Out number 3 as we enter the bottom of the second inning. Glassburner didn't make it look easy, but he gets out of the jam spotless. Still scoreless here as we enter the bottom of the second inning at Warner Park. 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing. and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. Nick Sainert with you here. Waverly and Gretna East. The winner moves one step closer to the state championship game. The loser goes home, as this is an elimination matchup. The winner of this game will get Scott Catholic tomorrow at 10 a.m. That game will be played at Papillion La Vista South High School. Here's the pitch from Austin Copeland. Swung on, foul tipped, and out of the glove of the catcher. So will be a foul ball. No balls, one strike. As it's the second baseman, Connor Gunderson. Gunderson on the year hitting .242. 16 hits and 66 at-bats. No balls, one strike. Here's the pitch. Low and inside, ball one, 1-1. The 1-1 offering. In there for a strike, 1-2. There haven't been a lot of called strikes today so far. Also, the umpire behind the plate real delayed with his strike motion. There might be a verbal cue, but his motion is pretty late. 2 balls, 2 strikes after the 1-2 pitch is outside for a ball. Gunderson got a hit against Gretna East on Saturday as he skies this one into shallow center field. The center fielder, Erdkamp, looks to be camped under it, and he hauls it in for out number 1. So F8 on the putout. That brings up the left fielder, Zach McElhose. McElhose on Saturday went 1 for 2. He scored a run and also walked. On the season, McElhose, he is hitting .253, has 22 hits on the season. This one lined up the middle, make it 23 as he gets a 1-out base knock on the first pitch fastball. Took it right back where it came from, over the head of the pitcher, Copeland, and he's on base with a 1-out single. So nice job by Zach McElhose. We've seen Waverly now both times, both innings here in the second and then in the first. They have been able to get a 1-out base runner. McElhose will lead off a first. Quick pick over is back in plenty of time. Zachary McElhose over there. Now hitting for the Waverly Vikings, number 10, the right fielder Logan Klopek. Klopek was supposed to start on Saturday, but then was a late scratch from the lineup. And Verkamp ended up hitting for him in the lineup on Saturday. However, Klopek also did not get the start yesterday against Scott, but has his number called here today. The 0-1 pitch from Copeland as he comes set from the stretch. McElhose leads off first, fouled back, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Klopek, the right-handed hitter, on the year hitting .267, just 8 hits in 30 tries. Quick pick over to first base, back in plenty of time. They're worried about McElhose over there. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Austin Copeland, the Gretna East pitcher. Just a tad up, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Copeland comes set at the belt. Runner goes. This one skied high. It's going to stay in the infield. McElhouse is going to have to rush back to first. He'll be back in time because the ball was hit so high off the bat of Klopek. But that is an F4 as the second baseman hauls it in for out number 2. And that brings up Trevor Trevor Racler, he gets the start at third base today. He was 0 for 1 with 2 walks on Saturday against Gretna East. McElhouse still leads off of first. Racler, as he takes strike 1 across the heart of the plate, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Runner at first is McElhouse. The pitch on the way, swung on. It's a blooper into shallow right field. It's trickling foul, and it's going to bounce down in foul territory. So McElhouse, who was sprinting around second, he probably could have scored if that would have bounced in fair territory because he was on his horse around second and about 3/4 of the way to third base. But it does bounce in foul territory, and so we'll do it at no balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. McElhouse goes back to first base. Waverly with their 9-hole hitter up to the plate. No balls, 2 strikes to Trevor Racler. Copeland comes set. Checks the runner at first and now fires. It's up and in for a ball. The runner with a delayed steal. He throws it down to second in plenty of time. And throwing him out is the catcher for the Gretna East Griffins. That is Easton Leahy. The ball popped out of his glove. It was a poor read by McElhouse at first, but a nice job by Gretna East defensively as they are able to grab the runner at second on the steal attempt. So McElhouse gets called out at second, and we go to the top of the third inning. For Gretna East in the top half, it's 2, 3, and 4. Cox, Herman, and Erdkamp do up when we come back in 60 seconds.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander back with you from Warner Park as we get ready for the top of the third inning. Due up in the top half of the third against the Waverly pitcher Owen Glassburner. It's going to be Tyler Cox. He steps into the right-handed batter's box, and he'll face the righty flamethrower Glassburner as that one takes strike 1 across the heart of the plate, 0-1. Cox, Herman, and Erdkamp due up here in the visiting half of the third inning. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Glassburner on the way. Fouled back to the net, and quickly Glassburner on top, 0-2. Both sides here need a quick one. They need a quick inning. Have struggled to make quick work of the opponent's lineup through the first 2 innings of work. As the 0-2 pitch, low and in the dirt, 1-2. We had a rolling schedule yesterday because there was some major concern with the weather. Today, more of a traditional schedule. 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. as an inside breaking ball touches the inside part of the plate, and it is good for strike 3. So a backwards K. Good job by Owen Glassburner, retiring Tyler Cox on strikes. And now that's going to bring up Carson Herman. Herman flew out to the center fielder back in the first inning. Herman on Saturday against Waverly was 1 for 4. Here's the first pitch, and it hits him in the shoulder. So to my point, what I just kind of mentioned was that neither Glassburner or Copeland for Gretna East have done a great job of working through the lineup in order. They've had a base runner on in every single half inning so far. Sometimes Waverly, last half inning, got out of the bases loaded jam thanks to a fly out by Colton Nicholson. No balls, no strikes, 1 out, top of the third. They check on the runner at first base. Back in plenty of time was Herman. With 1 out, the pitch. Up and in, ball 1 to Tanner Erdkamp. Erdkamp on Saturday, 1 for 4 against Waverly. Here comes the 1-0 offering. Swung on, fouled back to the right, 1-1. Erdkamp yesterday in the Gretna East 12-2 victory was 2 for 4. Had 2 RBIs, a strikeout, and a walk. Here he's facing a 1-1 strike count to Owen Glassburner. Here's the pitch from Glassburner. Swung on, lined over the shortstop's head. That's down for another hit. Rounding second, chugging for third is Herman. He's going to slide in safely. Throwing second base and backside base running. Good job by Tanner Erdkamp as he stretches the single into 2 bases here with 1 out in the top of the third. So it's going to go as a single, and then he advances to second on the throw. A good job by Tanner Erdkamp as he realized that the throw coming in from the left fielder was going to be going straight to third base. There was no chance of it getting cut off. It was an inaccurate throw to third base, which allowed Herman to slide in safely. But then on the backside, Tanner Erdkamp was able to slide into second. That brings up Easton Leahy. Breaking ball in there, strike 1. Leahy singled back to start the second inning. Gretna East threatening once again here in the top of the third. The pitch to Leahy, skied high pop-up, shallow center field. Tomes trying to get behind it. Bruin Sampson will be the cutoff. They're going to try to tag. They're going to cut it off. Sampson will cut it off, throw it to third, and he's in there safely. They're going to allow the run to score. Sampson tried to cut it off and go 3. That communication came from the catcher, Drew Cook. And here in the top of the third inning, Gretna East strikes first on a sacrifice fly. So Carson Herman tags up on the sac fly as now Erdkamp moves up as well 90 feet to third base on the sac. And so that brings up Chase Neneman. Neneman, 1-0 count on his way. Swung on line drive in through left side for a base knock, and another run will score. Neneman delivers on the 2-out single, and Gretna East extends their lead to 2. It's now 2-0. Good piece of hitting. Took a breaking ball in the inner part of the plate through the left side for a base knock. And now stepping up to the plate, it is Kaysen Brown with 2 runs already across in the top of the third inning and a runner now on first base. The first pitch of the at-bat is up out of the zone, ball 1. Waverly looks to begin to get some movement out in that center field bullpen. The 1-ball, no strike pitch up out of the zone, 2-0 again. Chase Neneman with an RBI single with 2 outs. We have a pause in the action as we have a Waverly Vikings conference on the mound. We'll step aside for 30 seconds as well. Come right back here in the top of the third on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your seatbelt could save your life. Does it click yet? Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back here in the action, the 2-0 pitch is on its way to Kason Brown. It's up and away for a ball, 3-0. Runner on first base, 2 runs in for Gretna East here in the top half of the third inning. The 3-0 pitch down Broadway for a strike, 3-1. Kason Brown is the Griffins hitter at the plate. Glassburner still out there on the mound for the Waverly Vikings. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Inside zone, strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner at first, Chase Neneman, will be in motion. The pitch, runner goes, swung on, line drive right side. That's going to be down and in the gap as it continues to trickle to the warning track. Rounding third, chugging towards home is Neneman. He'll score standing up. It's a 2-out RBI double for Kason Brown towards right center field, and Gretna East leads it 3-0. That ball hit well by Kason Brown. It got down in the gap. The Waverly right fielder, Logan Klopek, tried to track it down, took an angle, and was able to snatch it at the start of the warning track in right center field. The wind pushing towards that right field foul pole. And now we're going to have a pitching change here at Warner Park. Waverly still struggling to get out of the top of the third inning. Owen Glassburner's day is done. We'll tell you about the new Vikings arm when we come back in 90 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket. When daily energy fades and your drive just isn't what it used to be, Game Day Men's Health helps you step back into top form. Game Day Men's Health is one of the country's fastest growing clinics, and they focus on men's wellness, providing customized solutions with professionalism and privacy in mind. Testosterone optimization, weight management, vitamin injections, and shockwave therapy are just a few of the many things they offer. Restore your energy and rediscover confidence with the help of Game Day Men's Health, because every man deserves to feel his best every day. Visit them online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com today or in person at one of their 2 locations in Omaha.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander back with you from Warner Park. Gretna East has finally cracked the scoring column. They lead it 3-0 over the Waverly Vikings after they have strung together a couple of hits. It started with a hit by pitch to the second batter that was due up in this inning, Carson Herman. He came around to score thanks to a sacrifice fly from Easton Leahy. And now Kason Brown just drove in the third run of the inning for Gretna East on an RBI double to the right center field gap. New pitcher for the Waverly Vikings as Glassburner's day is done. He'll still be responsible for Kason Brown on second base. But they're going to turn to Brady Schieffer. Schieffer, 7 saves on the year. No wins, no losses, 7 saves, 1.65 earned run average. He inherits a runner at second base with 2 outs, and it'll be Kobe Modrell up first. He hits this one softly. Back to the pitcher, fielding it cleanly as Schieffer and tossing it over to first base. 1 pitch is all it took for Brady Schieffer to get out of the jam. We'll tell you Glassburner's final stat line when we come back, but Austin Copeland for Gretna East is back out there for his third inning of work, and we'll see if he can work a clean one and get those Griffins bats back up to the plate here in just 30 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So for Waverly, as they trail 3-0 here, Brady Schieffer has come in, and it took him one pitch to get the third out of the third inning. Owen Glassburner's day is done. He goes 2 2/3. He allows 5 hits, 3 walks. He strikes out 2 Griffin hitters and has 3 earned runs. So now it's Gretna East's turn as they turn back to Austin Copeland. Due up, it'll be Trevor Racler. You remember he was up to bat in the bottom half of the second inning, but then thrown out on a steal attempt was Zach McElhose, and so Racler gets a fresh count as he grounds the first pitch of the inning to the left side, fielded cleanly by the shortstop, fired over to first, dugout by the first baseman Nicholson, out number 1 on 1 pitch. And this is what, if you are Austin Copeland, you're sitting here saying this is exactly this type of start we needed. After your bats put up a crooked number, 3 runs in the top of the third, try to retire some Waverly Vikings in order, which you have not done yet today, and get back in the dugout, let those bats go back to work. The bottom of the third inning, it's 3-0 Gretna East. It's the top of the lineup with Hunter Tomes as he takes strike 1 on the outer part of the zone. Strike 1, 0-1. And Glassburner in that top half of the third inning retired the first hitter and then ended up hitting the second hitter, and it was downhill from there. The ground ball just out of reach for the pitcher, fielded by the second baseman for the Griffins in Tyler Cox. He fires over to Nicholson in time over at first base. It's 4-3 on the ground out number 2. Carson Malcolm comes up to the plate. He had a 1-out single back in the first inning in his first at-bat against Austin Copeland. And Malcolm, he ended up being stranded at third base back in that first. He comes up with nobody on base and 2 outs in the bottom of the third. First pitch of the at-bat from Copeland, working out of the windup. Swung on, grounded left side. This should be a 3-up, 3-down inning. Fielded cleanly by the third baseman. Errant throw. He misses the tag. What a play by Carson Malcolm. He realized that the throw was taking the first baseman down the foul line towards home plate. So what did he do? He slid head first into the inside part of the bag. The first baseman, Nicholson, unable to apply the tag and safe at first with a 2-out, reached on base via an error by the third baseman. Maybe a little bit of an announcer's jinx there on Carson Malcolm's part. It's an E5 on the book, and he now occupies first base. The first pitch of the at-bat, grounded left side, and backhand stop. First baseman throws the second. Great play by the Gretna East shortstop, Nolan Green. That was a tough play to go reach in the gap. He backhanded it, pivoted, fired to second base where Tyler Cox was anchored, and gets the force out after just 1 pitch to Bruin Sampson. So Sampson goes fielder's choice on the ground out. It was Carson Malcolm on the 6-4 put out for out number 3. That'll do it for the home half of the third inning. We head to the top of the fourth, due up for Gretna East as they try to extend their lead. It's 9-1-2. We'll tell you about it when we come back on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
An absolute picturesque way to have the bottom of the third inning go if you're Gretna East and pitcher Austin Copeland, as you and your offense score 3 runs in the top half of the third inning to lead it 3-0. And then what happens in the bottom half of the third? It takes 5 pitches to retire the Waverly Vikings. And it could have only taken 4 if there was no error on the third baseman. But nonetheless, we go to the top of the fourth with Gretna East leading 3-0. Gretna East 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, and that error just happened a moment ago. Waverly, no runs on 3 hits, no errors to their side either. The first pitch of the top of the fourth, from Brady Schieffer is low and away, ball 1, to Colton Nicholson. Nicholson getting the start at first base today, as this one's grounded left side, but foul in between the third base bag and the third base coaching box. So it evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 offering from Schieffer. Low and away, 2-1. Gretna East got their 3-run inning started on a hit by pitch last time. And now it's a 3-1 pitch, and Schieffer is in danger of walking the 9-hole hitter. It would be the second time today that Waverly walked the 9-hole hitter Nicholson. He walked back in the second. The 3-1 pitch, swung on, fouled back to the right side. We'll do it at 3-2. It's also, and these are the little baseball intricacies that you have to appreciate. Whatever happens with this at-bat from Nicholson, in his 2 at-bats, he's worked a full count each time. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It's down the middle for a strike. Strike 3 on the breaking ball. Good shot and good pitch by Brady Schieffer, as it's a backwards K, but still that point still stands where you still saw the maximum pitches in an at-bat, where you worked a full count back in the second. It resulted in a walk here. Unfortunately for Gretna East, it results in a backwards K, but good job there by Colton Nicholson. Here, Brady Schieffer gets on top of the Gretna East 1-hole hitter, Nolan Green, 0-1, on a fastball on the outer part of the plate. No balls, 1 strike. Schieffer going to work, swung on and missed. Hasn't been a whole lot of that from the Gretna East hitters. There's been quite a few foul balls, but every single one of their strikeouts has been a backwards K. The 0-2 pitch, inside, ball 1. Tried to come in on the hands with the heater, could not do so. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the top of the fourth inning. Gretna East put up 3 runs in the top half of the third. That's how we've stayed, as this one's lined right side, just past the outstretched glove of Bruin Sampson. And it's a 1-out single for the Gretna East Griffins. Nolan Green was trying to hunt fastball there. He got a breaking ball across the heart of the plate, was able to pull it to the right side from that left-handed batter's box. He was well out in front of it, but Nolan Green now occupies first base with 1 out, and Tyler Cox stepping into the box. That is the 6th hit now for the Gretna East Griffins. Here's the pitch as Green fakes the steal. They thought about back picking at first base, but Drew Cook behind the dish decided not to. Probably the smarter choice. Nolan Green might have just also been able to see what Drew Cook was doing behind the dish. It was a ball to Tyler Cox. Now the 1-0 pitch with 1 out coming up. He comes set at the chest, does Schieffer. He delivers. It's in the dirt. Good stop behind the plate by Cook. It's now 2-0. That ball was dead after it hit the chest protector of Drew Cook. Nice job there on a fastball that was spiked about 5 feet out in front of home plate. 2 balls, no strikes to Tyler Cox. Quick pick over to first base. It was a high pickoff attempt, and so Bruin Sampson not even able to apply a tag to Nolan Green, the base runner. Gretna East leads at 3-0. Here's the pitch to Tyler Cox on 2-0, low and in, ball 3. Waverly yet to record a 3-up, 3-down inning defensively. Gretna East just hasn't either, I suppose. However, it's been a little cleaner for Gretna East, as now another pickoff attempt to first base. Back in time again was Nolan Green. Brady Schieffer concerned with Nolan Green over there at first base. However, he has a 3-0 count to the hitter, Tyler Cox. Got to be careful not to put two guys on. And he gets a called strike one, 3-1. You can worry yourself and concern yourself so much with a base runner that you lose and you forget to pay attention to the priority, the hitter at the plate. And then before you know it, you have two guys on base instead of one. As now there will be two guys on base as the 3-1 pitch rather is low and inside for a ball. Ball 4. So struggling with command a little bit here is Brady Schieffer. He does have 7 saves on the year. Probably if you're head coach Jerry Dittenberg, not the spot you wanted to bring in Schaefer. After Glassburner, your starters could only go 2 2/3. But here, Schieffer will face Carson Herman. Runners on first and second, 1 out. The pitch, breaking ball, it's popped up. It's going to stay in the field of play. The catcher Cook backpedaling, and it pops out of his glove. That's the second foul ball pop up behind the plate that Drew Cook has dropped. And so now those are unfortunately free outs that you've just given another life to the Gretna East Griffins as the Waverly Vikings will rush a couple of relievers out to the center field bullpen. So we'll stop play here. But Carson Herman has another life, the 3-hole hitter who reached and got the third inning started with 1 out in the third with that hit by pitch. He faces an 0-1 count with 1 out in the top of the fourth with runners on first and second. The runner on second is Nolan Green. Tyler Cox is at first. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Schieffer. Lined out to center field. It should hold up long enough for Tomes, and it does. So a hard line out off the bat of Herman, but straight into the glove of Hunter Tomes in center field. Both runners not able to advance after that's out number 2. And the rest of the top of the fourth inning is up to Tanner Erdkamp, the Gretna East center fielder. Erdkamp singled back in the third inning, came around to score as well. He was able to hit a line drive over the shortstop's head into left center field in the third inning. He, on that hit, allowed Carson Ehrman to advance to third base from first base, and on the throw, Erdkamp stretched the single into a second base. 3-0 is your score. Gretna East out in front by 3 runs. 2 outs in the top of the fourth inning. Brady Schieffer trying to get out of a mess. One runner on first, runner on second, 2 outs in the top of the fourth. The first pitch of the at-bat is blown away for a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the fourth inning. The pitch on its way, low and away, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs in the top half of the fourth. 3-0, Gretna East out in front by a few runs. This one swung on, drilled down the right field line, but creeping foul and hitting into the nets as this field goes diagonal towards the back right corner and back left corner of foul and fair territory. And so it's a long foul ball, long strike, and it's now 2 balls, 1 strike. Tanner Erdkamp, the right-handed hitter. He is 1 for 2 today. Struck out looking back in the first, but then, as I mentioned, singled back in the third. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. 2-1 pitch from Schieffer. Swung on, line left side. It's past the glove of the shortstop. Being waved home is Green. Now he's going to turn on the brakes. And a good job by the third base coach over there for Gretna East, pumping the brakes of Nolan Green rounding third. A great throw by McElhost from left field. Kept all runners at just being able to move up 1 base at a time. So they will now go and be loaded. Runners at first, second, and third as Tanner Erdkamp singles again for the second consecutive inning. Moving up to second is Tyler Cox. Moving up to third is Nolan Green. And Easton Leahy, who had a sacrifice fly back in the third inning, he steps into the right-handed batter's box. Here's the pitch from Schieffer, working out of the windup. Takes strike 1. It's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Schieffer as Green gets a running start as that pitch goes away from the catcher, Drew Cook, but he's able to corral it in time. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a running start over there for Nolan Green at third base as Schieffer is out of the windup. But now he's going to switch to the stretch, and so Nolan Green won't be able to get that running start. Schieffer seems to be a little more comfortable out of the windup, but he fires in a strike, a 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 4th inning here at Warner Park. Nick Sainert with you, Jackson Kleinschmidt back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios. The pitch, breaking ball, does not break enough. It stays upstairs, 2-2. 3-0 is your score. Gretna East 3 runs on 7 hits. They've committed an error. Didn't come back to hurt them, though. Waverly, no runs on 3 hits. Bases are loaded, though, for the Griffins in the top half of the 4th inning. The 2 balls, 2 strike count. Before we have it, Easton Leahy calls timeout in the right-handed batter's box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Schieffer. Outside, 3-2, and now runners will be able to move and nowhere to put Easton Leahy. Schieffer started this at-bat on the mound, pitching out of the windup. Now switches to the stretch. The 3-2 pitch on the way, swung on, foul ball. This one looks like it's going to stay in play, and finally Drew Cook is able to haul that one in up against the net. That was out of the 3 that he's had the chance at grabbing. That was the hardest one to go and find and grab and track down, but he was able to corral it for out number 3. It's a big out as that ends the top of the 4th inning. Gretna East goes scoreless. They leave them loaded here in the top of the 4th. We turn to the bottom of the 4th due up. It's Brennan Miller, Drew Cook, and Connor Gunderson for the Waverly Vikings in the home half of the 4th inning with the Vikings down 3 here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So Brady Schieffer for the Waverly Vikings gets out of a jam. He strands 3 Gretna East hitters or runners on base. Gretna East leaves them loaded on a fly out to the catcher, Drew Cook. So now in the bottom half of the 4th inning, Waverly still searching for their first run today. Brennan Miller, the designated hitter who grounded out to third base in the 1st inning, is due up first. Waverly only saw 5 pitches in the last inning. Three to 0 is your score. Here's the pitch from Copeland. Swung on and missed by Brennan Miller, and it's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch from Copeland. Swung on, hit well, left side, just foul. That could have been big for the Waverly Vikings if that could have snuck inside that chalk down that third base line. Unable to do so, it narrowly bounced outside the line. And so it's 0-2 to Brennan Miller. Here's the pitch on 0-2 from Copeland. Swung on, same result, foul ball down the left side. And we'll do it again at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning. The 0-2 offering to Brennan Miller. Skied high pop-up. It'll stay in the infield. Shortstop has it under it and is able to grab it. Nolan Green for out number 1. Waverly in a continuation of not only Saturday, but also yesterday where they were no hit, just struggling to string base hits together. They did get 7 hits on Saturday against Gretna East, so it wasn't atrocious there. But yesterday against Omaha Skutt Catholic gets no hit against the Skyhawks. No balls, 1 strike here to Drew Cook, the catcher. This one hit well left side. It's going to be well foul, though, as well. And it will go out of play. So quickly, Austin Copeland doing a good job of getting on top of Waverly Vikings hitters. They've also helped him out a little bit, swinging at some pitches early in the count. But no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch from Copeland. Swung on line right side. That's good for a base hit. Trickling towards that right center gap. Cook is going to try to stretch it to 2 bases, and he will successfully. Drew Cook with a 1-out double in the right center field gap. And Drew Cook has Waverly in business here with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. There will be a courtesy runner. It's going to be number 17, Crew Verkamp. But a nice piece of hitting by Drew Cook as he gives Waverly a runner in scoring position with just 1 out. But now batting, it'll be the second baseman, number 3, Connor Gunderson. First baseman playing 20 feet inside the first base bag on the cut of the grass. From the stretch, here's Copeland. The pitch, upstairs, ball 1. We'll see if Waverly can seize some momentum here. They have a part of their order in 6, 7, and 8 now due up. Runner on second base. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Copeland from the stretch, checks the runner at second base 4 times, now fires home and throws it up high, 2-0. And it looks like we have a conversation on the mound. And we're ready to go. There's a conversation between the Gretna East catcher, Easton Leahy, and the pitcher, Austin Copeland. Gretna East leads it still 3-0. However, there is a runner out at second base in Crew Verkamp. Hitter at the plate is Connor Gunderson. The pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. That's a fastball that, with the second baseman holding or working the runner at second, that's a pitch on the outer part of the zone that if you're Gunderson, you take that right side. Second baseman vacated his area quite a bit as he watches the same exact pitch come across the outer clip. And it's going to be 2-2 to Connor Gunderson. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Runner in scoring position is Crew Verkamp at second base. Waverly trying to cut into this 3-0 deficit. Swung on and missed on a pitch that was up at the helmet of Connor Gunderson. And Gunderson goes down swinging for out number 2. So that brings up the left fielder, a man who is 1 for 1 on the day, Zach McElhose. McElhose reached on a single back in the second, but then was caught stealing to end the second inning. He's got a runner out there at second base. Copeland fires. This one, grounder, second base, fairly routine. The throw over to first and plenty of time for out number 3. So your score after 4 innings of play, Gretna East 3, the Waverly Vikings 0. Here is for Gretna East due up in the top half of the 5th inning. Hitters 6, 7, and 8. We'll see, can Brady Schieffer continue to work a clean outing for the Waverly Vikings, or can Gretna East add to their 3-run advantage? We'll find out in 60 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here at Warner Park, Nick Sainert with you. Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passions is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Learn about undergraduate and graduate programs at doane.edu. Nick Sainert back with you from Warner Park. Jackson Kleinschmidt in our 93.7 The Ticket studios, and we're here in the top of the fifth inning with a first pitch strike to Chase Neneman. Neneman, a right-handed hitter, singled, had an RBI back in that 3-run third inning as part of it for Gretna East. He takes ball one, low and away, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to pitch, low and away, 2-1. 3-0 is your score. Gretna East, 3 runs on 7 hits. Waverly, no runs on 4. Here's the pitch on 2-1, outside, 3-1, and I can't stress this enough. Waverly's got guys throwing some weighted balls and doing some band work out in the center field bullpen as we have a leadoff walk here, a 5-pitch leadoff walk. But you can't stress this enough, how much just Waverly collectively needs a clean inning here. Not in the form of a 0, but they've seen in every single inning, they've at least encountered 5 batters for Gretna East. That's 2 runners on base at least in every single inning so far for Gretna East. Just constant and consistent pressure. As we have a first pitch ball, 1-0 to Kaysen Brown. That's now 5 consecutive balls thrown by Brady Schieffer on the mound. Quick pick over to first. Back in standing was Chase Neneman. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit well into left field, but should be playable for the left fielder, McElhouse. He's there, able to grab it for out number 1, and a big first out with a runner on first base for Brady Schieffer on the F7. So now Kobe Modrell steps into the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day. He was the first batter to face Brady Schieffer. He grounded out to Schieffer in the first pitch of his outing. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Grounder left side through past the third baseman. Rounding second, motoring into third is Neneman. Stopping at first is Modrell. And Gretna East is back in business here with runners on the corners and 1 out. So Kobe Modrell takes a fastball on the inside corner, right down the third base foul line, past the third baseman who dove. It went past his glove, trickled all the way into left field as it continued to hug the foul line. And now runners at the corners for Gretna East as they are trying to extend this 3-0 lead. Schieffer comes set from the stretch. Lifts the leg and fires. It's a slide step, and he is able to deliver strike 1 to Colton Nicholson. Nicholson struck out looking back in the 4th inning to start the 4th inning. He walked back in the 2nd. He's faced a full count every single time he's been up so far. Pick over again to third base, and Modrell was over there with a very conservative lead, so no real play over there at first base. Here's the pitch from Schieffer. Outside, 1-1. 3-0 your score. Waverly needs to limit the damage and get back up to the box. Runners at the corners for Gretna East. The pitch in the dirt, breaking ball. Good stop behind the dish by Drew Cook. Ball 2. If you're Waverly, you're not necessarily counting outs, but if you are, you got 9 of them left to work with. Here's the pitch, outside corner, good pitch by Schieffer, and it's going to be a strike, 2-2. Nicholson At some point, though, got to take the bat off the shoulder. Go to work. Here in that 9 spot of the lineup. The 2-2 offering from Schieffer. Swung on, hit well out to center field. Should be deep enough to score Neneman from third. He's off and tagging after Tomes catches that one. It's going to be cut off by Sampson. He'll throw it home anyway, but a nice job by Colton Nicholson. Sacrifice fly out to center fielder Tomes, and that is the 4th run of the day for the Gretna East Griffins as they extend their lead to 4-0 on the sacrifice fly for out number 2. But coming in to score was Neneman from third. Staying at first since that throw was cut off was Modrell, though. And so now runner at first base is Kobe Modrell, and it's the top of the order, Nolan Green, stepping into the box. He singled and was stranded at third base back in the 4th inning. Nolan Green, left-handed hitter, as they pick over to Modrell at first again. Haven't been really close to having a play on Kobe Modrell. But here he is, Nolan Green stepping into that left-handed batter's box, and he takes ball 1 outside, 1-0. Here's the 1-0, swung on, pop fly, shallow left field. McElhost coming in on it, and he'll have it for out number 3. But Gretna East able to tack on one more run on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Colton Nicholson that scored Chase Neneman. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, due up in the bottom half of the 5th for the Waverly Vikings. It's Klopek, Raessler, and Tomes, 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Waverly lineup due up here in the bottom of the 5th as they trail 4-0 on 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You can celebrate your 2025 grad with Raising Cane's with an exclusive 2025 graduation cane plush puppy and gift card bundle at raisingcanesgear.com. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score, Gretna East 4, Waverly 0. It'll be Logan Klopek due up first here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. He flew out to the second baseman, almost said second fielder, second baseman back in the 2nd inning. So a lot of 2s involved there for Logan Klopek. He was also the second out of the 2nd inning. Here's the first pitch to Klopek. It's grounded left side, fielded cleanly by the third baseman, firing across the diamond. It's a long throw, but it's accurate and in time for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Austin Copeland, who's had a nice day of work so far, still without an earned run. So now that brings up Trevor Raessler. He is the starting third baseman. Rather, we're going to have a pinch hitter correction. It's going to be number 13, Quinn Ment. So Quinn Komet is now up to bat, the right-handed hitter. He's hitting for Raessler. The pitch, foul tipped into the glove of the catcher, and it'll be strike 1. The second pitch of the at-bat, in there for a strike, 0-2. Austin Copeland, I was writing in Quinn Komet's name into my game book, and before I could even look up, he is able to throw another pitch, and that time, that fastball outer part of the plate, 3 pitches and 3 strikes on the backwards K. For out number 2, so far 4 pitches in this inning for Austin Copeland, and now Hunter Tomes comes up to the plate. Hunter has a sister, Malia, who is getting ready for super regional action this week. She plays for Nebraska softball as Tomes grounds this one to the shortstop and firing it over to first in time. Meant to make the play was Nolan Green as he threw it over Colton Nicholson's way, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning in the bottom of the 5th inning. We head to the top of the 6th. It's 4-0 Gretna East here at Warner Park. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
1221 N Street, Lincoln. CordellCordell.com.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We head to the top of the 6th inning. As 2 up in the top of the 6th for Gretna East, it'll be hitters 2, 3, 4, a pretty important part in their lineup. And Brady Schieffer back out there for another inning of work. Schieffer came on with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. And so Tyler Cox steps in to face Schieffer. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it off left side 0-1. No balls, 1 strike here to Tyler Cox. Here's the pitch from Schieffer. Breaking ball, hit well into right center field. That's down for another hit. Tyler Cox with his 2nd hit of the day as he's going to push it to a double. He slides in head first safely, and it's a leadoff double for the Gretna East 2-hole hitter, Tyler Cox. He was hesitant at first around first base whether or not he was going to want to stretch it to a double. However, he kind of hesitated and then committed to going to second base once he saw how long it took for Hunter Tomes out in center field to track down that base knock. And so he stretched it an extra 90 feet, and he's going to be parked on second base. We have a pause in the action. We have a pitching change coming. Brady Schieffer's day is done. We'll tell you about the new arm in 60 seconds when we come back.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. Before we tell you about the new pitcher, Give to Lincoln Day is Thursday, May 29th. And 93.7 The Ticket will be at Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to help generate funds. You can give ahead at givetolincoln.com. And make sure you choose Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach, located just north of 27th and Holdridge. All right, the new pitcher on the mound for the Waverly Vikings is Cale Lade. Lade is a junior, throws from the left side, has a 2-2 record on the year, a 2.94 earned run average. He'll inherit a runner at second base. That will be the responsibility of Schieffer. Schieffer, the book's not fully closed on him, but we know bits and pieces of it. He goes 2 1/3. He strikes out 1, walks 2, and allowed 4 hits, and will decide and determine here in a few moments of whether or not he is responsible for 1 earned run or 2 earned runs if Gretna East can get Tyler Cox to come around and score. The first pitch to Carson Herman from Lade. Breaking ball, grounded left side. It's fielded by the shortstop. They'll throw it third, and the ball is bobbled through the third baseman's mitt. Sliding into third safely is Tyler Cox, and we have runners on the corners for Gretna East and nobody out in the top of the 6th. I would imagine they'll mark that as an error. It was a fairly routine play. They had a chance to get the runner at third, Tyler Cox. We're still waiting on an official scoring decision, though. Here's Lade, the pitch on the way. Showing bunt is Tanner Erdkamp, and pulling back, taking called strike, 0-1. We'll still see what they still haven't officially ruled that one. The 0-1 pitch, pick over to first base back in plenty of time, is Herman. But we do know runners at the corners, nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch from Lade. And it's up and away, ball 1. One ball, 1 strike, nobody out, top of the 6th. The pitch, skied high, center field, ranging back is Tomes. This will be plenty deep enough to score the runner from third. They'll throw it to second just to keep the runner trimmed down at first. And that is going to extend the Gretna East lead to now 5-0 on the sacrifice fly from Tanner Erdkamp on the F8. So that's out number 1. Scoring on the sacrifice is Erdkamp. And so that will officially close the book on Schieffer. He is charged for 2 earned runs on the day. Still haven't scored that Herman hit or error. We still have yet to determine that one. However, he occupies first base as Easton Leahy steps into the right-handed batter's box, steps up to the box. Pick over to first, back in plenty of time is Herman. Gretna East has done a good job of not only limiting Waverly offensively, but they've done a good job in their own way of adding insurance these last 2 innings, as they've added a run in the 5th and added a run in the 6th. 1-1 pitch is up and away, 2-0. 2-0, excuse me. Here's the pitch from Lade. Swung on, hit well, left side, base hit. Gretna East starting to string some things together as Easton Leahy drives one through the left side for a 1-out single. And so a really nice job there by Easton Leahy, as that is his 2nd hit of the day. He's now 2 for 3 with an RBI. That brings up Chase Neneman. Neneman on the day is 1 for 1. He had a sacrifice bunt back in the 2nd. He singled with an RBI in the 3rd and then walked in the 5th. As he swings at the first pitch, fouls it right side, 0-1. Five to 0 is your score. No balls, 1 strike, the pitch to Neneman. In the dirt, gets away from the catcher. Great ball in dirt read from the runner at second, Herman, and he's going to glide into third base on the wild pitch. Easton Leahy will run into second as well, and so now the double play opportunity is out of order, and runners are now at second and third with 1 out for Gretna East. The infield will play in for Waverly as Neneman takes ball 2, low and in, 2-1. It was an unfortunate kick off the chest for Drew Cook. It bounced in front of him and just got away from him a little bit. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit well out to center field. Tomes is there. Tomes collects it for out number 2. They're going to throw it towards third base, but another run will score for the Gretna East Griffins. The runner at second, Leahy, will have to stay at second. And so Chase Neneman gets his second RBI of the day. It's the second sacrifice that he's provided as well, this time in the form of a sacrifice fly instead of a bunt for out number 2. And that is now extending the Gretna East lead to 6 at 6-0. 6-0 your score as Kason Brown steps into the box. Brown on the day doubled back in the third. He flew out to the left fielder in the 5th. The pitch upstairs, ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Kason Brown takes strike 1 down Broadway, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Gretna East dancing around at second base. Strike 2 called, and it's 1-2. A chance for Cale Lade to get out of this inning. Due up in the bottom half of the 6th for the Waverly will be Malcolm, Sampson, and Miller, hitters 2, 3, and 4. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Here's the pitch on its way. Breaking ball does not work back enough, and it's now going to be 2-2. Tried to work it back door, could not do so. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Lade comes set at the belt. And we have time called by the catcher, Drew Cook, as they want to go have a conversation with him. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Gretna East scored 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th here. And they're still having a runner out at second base in scoring position as the ball on a 2-2 count is up and away. Ball 3, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 6th inning. It's 6-0 Gretna East. The payoff pitch for Lade. It's on its way, swung on, ground ball, left side, fielded cleanly by the shortstop, now bobbled. Does he have enough time? No, he does not. The bobble by the shortstop, number 19, Carson Malcolm, allowed Kason Brown to skirt down the line. He reaches safely on the air. We are going to call that one a for sure error on the shortstop. And so now that has runners on the corners. And it will be 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning for Kobe Modrell. Modrell singled last inning. He swings and misses at this one, 0-1. Here's the pitch from Lade. Swung on and missed again, 0-2, as he's well on top of Kobe Modrell, the designated hitter. Modrell on the day, 1 for 3. He grounded out twice, once to the second baseman, once to the pitcher, and then singled back in the 5th. The 0-2 count. It's on the outside corner, clipped it. Nice pitch by Cale Lade, as that'll do it for the visiting half of the 6th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th with Gretna East leading 6-0 here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. Nick Sainert with you as Gretna East has tacked on 2 more runs in there to their lead. They now lead at 6-0. The bottom half of the 6th inning begins with a ball low and in. Gretna East has a guy lightly moving around out there in the center field bullpen. For right now, it's Austin Copeland's game as he is behind in the count to Carson Malcolm. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0 pitch, outside corner, strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 6-run deficit for the Waverly Vikings. Here's the pitch from Copeland. It's up and away, ball 3. The game to follow us here at 1 o'clock or so will be the Bennington Badgers against the Seward Blue Jays. As this one fouled off left side, we're full 3-2. Bennington played in a 12-inning game yesterday that took 4 hours and 14 minutes to complete, while Seward had a 30-minute weather delay during their nightcap last night and didn't get done until around 11:30 p.m. Here's a short top chopper to the shortstop, fielded cleanly by Nolan Green and fired over to first in time for out number 1. 6-3 on the ground out. And that's out number 1. That brings up Bruin Sampson. Sampson on the day, he's 1 for 2. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the 3rd, singled in the 1st. Sampson steps into the right-handed batter's box, facing the right-handed pitcher, Austin Copeland, who has had himself a nice day. Here's the pitch from Copeland to Sampson. Breaking ball, skied high. This should stay in play. The third baseman races over. Now he'll work himself back towards fair territory, and he'll make the catch. A nice job there by Kason Brown, judging that one in the air. It's 1 pitch, 1 out, 1 pitch, another out, as that's out number 2 on the F5. So now the last chance for the Waverly Vikings in the bottom of the 6th. That's Brennan Miller. Miller, the designated hitter, is 0 for 2 today. He grounded out to the third baseman in the 1st, flew out to the shortstop in the 4th. Here's the pitch from Copeland. First one of the at-bat. Fouled back towards the press box, heading back towards the fans. Almost hit a girl on her phone. Stay present in the moment, young lady. And it's going to be a foul ball, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Miller skies this one back. This is going to get out of play. Similar spot, and it hits the concrete, 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Austin Copeland is 1 strike away from getting out of his 6th inning of work with a goose egg next to that Waverly name. Copeland, the pitcher for Gretna East, right-handed pitcher, has allowed no runs on 4 hits so far today. Here's the pitch from Copeland on its way. Breaking ball, fanned and missed by Brennan Miller. As that started at the heart of the plate, worked itself outside of the zone in the opposite batter's box, and that is the 6th shutout inning for Austin Copeland here this morning. We go to the final inning of play, the top of the 7th. Gretna East leads at 7-0, or rather 6-0 in the top of the 7th. We'll be right back in 60 seconds. There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Welcome summer with Red, White, and Barbecue. Hog Wild will be open this Memorial Day from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., serving up our award-winning barbecue. Pick up a slab of slow-smoked ribs or a family pack loaded with your favorite choice of meats and sides, complete with buns and our famous barbecue sauce. Enjoy the holiday with family and friends and let Hog Wild do the cooking. Order online at gohogwild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We head to the top of the 7th inning. Your score 6-0 Gretna East out in front of the Waverly Vikings. And due up for Gretna East in the visiting half of the 7th, it'll be hitters 9, 1, and 2. Colton Nicholson, Nolan Green, and Tyler Cox due up here in the 7th. The first pitch from Cale Lade is a ball up and away, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is up and away again, 2-0. He tried a breaking ball on the first pitch, and that second one was a heater. Here's the 2-0 offering. Swung on and missed by Colton Nicholson. Cale Lade came in relief of Brady Schieffer. Schieffer in relief of Owen Glassburner, who started the day. The pitch fouled back to the net. We're even 2-2. Glassburner went 2 2/3 innings, allowed 3 earned runs, 5 hits, walked 3 Gretna East Griffins, and struck out 2. The 2-2 pitch from Lade. Swung on, grounded, shortstop Malcolm up with it cleanly, fires across the diamond to Bruin Sampson in time for out number 1. Brady Schieffer went 2 1/3 inning. He allowed 2 earned runs, 4 hits, walked 2 Griffins, and struck out just 1. So far, Lade has 1 strikeout to his name. No free passes, though. A couple of errors have happened since Cale Lade came into the game, though, for Waverly. As that first pitch of the at-bat to Nolan Green is a ball, 1-0. Top of the order here for Gretna East. Lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch, fouled left side, and it's 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in our first game of the day. The pitch is outside, 2-1. After us, for about an hour or so, we'll have the Adam Carricker show on our station as this one ripped out to center field. Tomes, one of the fastest guys in the state, will range over and make that play for out number 2 on the F8. So join Adam and Bach and the crew after we are done here in what I would assume the next 10 to 15 minutes. Top of the 7th inning here at Warner Park. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Gretna East has a 6-0 lead over the Waverly Vikings as the first pitch of the at-bat to Tyler Cox is a ball, 1-0. Cale Lade's done a good job for the most part coming in, making competitive pitches. His defense hasn't helped him out a whole lot, though. A couple of errors as Tyler Cox has fouled this one back. It's now 1-1. The first batter that Cale Lade faced in the 6th inning when he came in relief, there was a ground ball to the shortstop, error on the shortstop. Later in the inning, an error on the shortstop once again as a backdoor breaker hits the corner, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes here in the top of the 7th, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. A 55-foot breaker into the dirt, 2-2. Working out of the windup, the left-handed pitcher. On its way, ground ball left side, but foul, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Waverly, not the day you were probably hoping for. Longevity on the mound hasn't necessarily been there. You've had a pitcher go 2 2/3. That's what your starter did. Your reliever went 2 1/3, which isn't bad. Lade trying to slam the doors. This one's hit well out to right field, but the right fielder is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So, for the first time today in the top of the 7th inning, finally, Gretna East is 3 up, 3 down. Waverly forces them to retire in order. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Due up in the bottom of the 7th for the Waverly Vikings. Hitters 5, 6, and 7. It's Drew Cook, Connor Gunderson, and Zach McElhose due up for Waverly in the home half of the 7th here on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. Stepping up, it's Drew Cook as he swings at the first pitch of the at-bat. Fly ball out to right field, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Austin Copeland, who has continued to have himself a nice day on the mound for the Gretna East Griffins. 1 pitch, 1 out to Drew Cook for out number 1. That brings up the second baseman, Connor Gunderson. Gunderson is 0 for 2 today. He flew out to the center fielder in the 2nd and struck out swinging back in the 4th. Correction, we're going to have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Trev Grieve, the senior, is going to sub in as he swings at the first pitch, grounds to the third baseman. Up in time with it is Brown, fires to the first baseman, Nicholson, in time. 1 pitch, another out. And so he retires Grieve on 1 pitch on the 5-3 ground out. So now, stepping up to the plate, another pinch hitter. It's going to be Tyler Wells. Wells, a senior, has just 7 at-bats on the season, has 3 hits in those 7 at-bats. Here on the right side, the foul ball. And it's going to be 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Up and away, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. Up and inside, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch from Copeland. Fouled back, and we are 1 strike away from ending this one. Gretna East, if they can hold on as they lead 6-0, they will play Scott Catholic tomorrow. They will have to beat the Skyhawks twice to earn a trip to the state championship. Scott will only have to beat it once. Here's the 2-2. Just outside, 3-2. Gretna East lost to Waverly on Saturday, 3-2. They're winning 6-0. Here's the payoff pitch from Austin Copeland. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Austin Copeland goes the distance. 7 shutout innings on the mound. He allows 4 hits, and Gretna East wins 6-0. For the Waverly Vikings, their season concludes here at Warner Park. Gretna East will face Scott Catholic tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at Papillion La Vista South High School. As I just mentioned, they will have to beat the Skyhawks twice in order to make the state championship game on Friday. If Scott can knock off Gretna East once, then the Skyhawks will punch their ticket to Friday afternoon's state championship matchup. That'll do it for us from Warner Park. The Adam Carricker Show is next here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When daily energy fades and your drive just isn't what it used to be, Game Day Men's Health helps you step back into top form. Game Day Men's Health is one of the country's fastest growing clinics, and they focus on men's wellness, providing customized solutions with professionalism and privacy in mind. Testosterone optimization, weight management, vitamin injections, and shockwave therapy are just a few of the many things they offer. Restore your energy and rediscover confidence with the help of Game Day Men's Health, because every man deserves to feel his best every day. Visit them online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com today or in person at one of their 2 locations in Omaha.
It's different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the